Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to the English coverage for the Dota 2 Professional League group stages. We're on to game number 2 of a best of 2 between Vici and Wings. Wings certainly gave us a draft. We won't forget last game we had a Luna, Ags, Refresher, Ethereal Blade. Unfortunately, it was not able to come online, and Vici took a successful game 1 off the back of an awesome CTY Weaver. And we're going to start things out, not much changing up, but oh, there's a Witch Doctor pick. I am very, very eager to get into this gameplay here, and I am not going at it alone. I am being joined by my co-caster, Mad Kings. What's up, man?
Hello, I'm looking forward to game 2 as well, and we already see a change in Wings' lineup this time around. They are going for a little bit more lockdown heavy, the Beastmaster probably being one of the only heroes they repeatedly pick up a lot, and will most likely be played by the offlaner. The Disruptor being picked up with it is a lot of lockdown, a lot of this like counter teamfight play against the Tidehunter Witch Doctor being picked up by VG Gaming. A strong early lineup. I mean, the Tidehunter obviously being RTK's hero, he plays it a lot, and it seems like they just favor picking this for him every single time. As he makes some big Ravage plays happen, he goes in, he gets that mech, which is always a good tool to get on your team. The Witch Doctor with that, a lot of healing potential could come out if they go for the Voodoo Restoration style from the Witch Doctor. And obviously the cask on top of that, and the Death Ward into a Ravage is a good combo. So it's going to be good to look forward to that.
Yeah, I mean, the Disruptor pick is very defensive here, I think. It has great utility, but it's a really, really easy pick if Vici go for some sort of ganky hero, a hero that likes to blink and initiate. And we've seen Batriders up the wazoo here, and both teams maybe looking for that. I mean, Wings less so have room for it in their draft, but Vici, they definitely could get away with a Batrider here. HYM played it fantastically in the mid last game.
I agree with you. I think the Batrider is a more likely tool for VG Gaming to go for. I don't think Wings Gaming is actually going to try to get it, because Batrider against a Tidehunter is always so awkward, because you can crack and shell off the lasso. It makes it a little bit harder to get some value targets off and get some good initiations off, as the Tidehunter just needs to be the frontliner, needs to be the one baiting, needs to be the one starting the fights, and it's not easy to grab like targets in the back of the team. But VG Gaming for sure, a good hero. Like you said, this defensive support with the Disruptor. It's not a hero that can easily kill a Tidehunter in the lane, so they need something else that has a little bit more damage coming out from it. Something like a Phoenix that we've seen lately being a meta hero could come out here, because I feel like Phoenix, a great hero against the Tidehunter due to the pure damage, so the tankiness doesn't really matter too much. And that together with the glimpse back from the Disruptor could make them able to do a little bit more. Even a Vengeful Spirit with the aura makes them able to hit the Titan a little bit harder, so there's multiple options. VG Gaming banning out the Alchemist and the Dragonite, targeting the mid laner of the Wings Gaming. It is both heroes that they play, but Wings, they are very, very versatile teams, so even though they ban out these heroes, it doesn't stop them a lot. And Wings Gaming going for Dazzle ban, Ricky ban, trying to focus around the mid lane with the Ricky ban. I feel like, as this roaming support is something that it's one of those heroes where you're like, okay, if you ban these sort of roaming supports, you want your mid lane to have a better time than normally. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that Wings Gaming are versatile, and I think it goes a step beyond versatile. I think it goes into Wings Gaming are not afraid to go in and take these huge risks and go for these risky things, and sometimes it pays off in tremendous fashion. Last game we saw them go in. We will never speak of that Luna build again, but I'm very eager to see if they're going to try anything funky here, or if they stick with tried true meta, get in, get the kills, get out, get the towers. And, well, Vici do go for that Batrider, like we talked about a little bit earlier, so they've got some nice initiation, and Lifestealer is not banned out, and that's a hero that combos very well with the Batrider again. And do Vici look to grab up the Lifestealer, plop it in the Batrider, go for initiations, and get kills in that way?
Yeah, this is for sure something that Wings is thinking about right now, because the Beastmaster, yeah, they have the Roar, which is a good tool against the Lifesteal for sure. The Disruptor can get it off a static storm before the Rage comes on, but VG Gaming already having the Titan and the Batrider, they are once again going to be the ones getting a little bit of a better initiation lineup. So unless Wings get something like a Night Stalker who can counter that, then VG Gaming is looking to be pretty strong in the initiation fashion. And picking up a Slug, I feel like that's a good option, because the lifesteal doesn't necessarily work that well with them, as it's tanky heroes. The Titan has the Kraken Shell. So, that's a quick hit. The quick picks coming up.
Yeah, we're racing through the draft here, and I like the Lycan pick. I think rather than Lifestealer, which is underwhelming. I think Lycan offers a lot of tower push, which Lifestealer doesn't. He offers a lot of catch potential. He offers also Sentry Vision with his Necro 3s that he will pick up. So if Slark goes for Shadow Blade, he's going to be revealed a lot easier, and they're not going to be forced to go for the dusts on the supports.
Yeah, I like the Lycan as well. It's a tanky hero. It's a hero that can easily fight against the Slug when he has that shapeshift popped up. Slug has a very, very hard time to just go in and man fight him. It will take a long time before he can get to that point, and he needs to snowball hard to be able to make that happen. The Winter Wyvern being picked up, obviously just a direct counter. Well, not necessarily a counter, but a good hero against the Lycan. You can get that Winter's Curse up, abuse the Lycan a little bit with the Wolves hitting him back. Go on something like the Witch Doctor, go on the Bad Rider when he jumps in as well. So the Winter Wyvern a defensive support, but it's good to counter these initiations from VG Gaming, considering VG Gaming just has a better initiation lineup. So it may be better for Wings Gaming to just go for a defensive style that can counter that kind of initiation and play around it rather than trying to like match the initiation power. I like the Winter Wyvern for that matter. It obviously also offers them a great amount of D push if Lycan is trying to go for like a Necronomicon to push early. So it's a good hero overall, I feel like.
Okay, so down to last picks here. Final ban against Vici. I mean, they're a very versatile team. They've got a lot of comfort heroes, so I don't think they're exactly going to get banned out here. But it looks like they still need either in support or a mid. I think they need another support here, as the Bat Rider will most likely take up the mid. HYM feeling comfortable there, and I'm just not quite sure. Do they go for a big core? Do they? They have a very versatile draft here.
They have options. The Weaver is actually still in the pool. I feel like probably not going to be picked up this game. They have too much control for it. But VG Gaming, they do have the option to go for CT-wise heroes such as the Queen of Pain, the Wind Ranger, heroes like that. Queen of Pain obviously may be a little bit dodgy because of the Winter's Curse being able to initiate on you and use that on top of a Roar, on top of a Static Storm. But we've seen CT-wise Queen of Pain. He's pulling it off very, very nicely usually. Can even just go for tankier build, and now Wings Gaming going for a Timbersaw. So interesting. That's gonna be a Timbersaw mid, I think actually.
Yeah, it's run with decent success. I know it has been run in this tournament. I don't recall if it's Wings that got it off or not, but I do remember that it didn't quite win that game. It just didn't end up farming up efficiently. Got a Bloodstone at like 35 minutes, so not really a consistent, reliable pick, but you've also got Slark that snowballs well. You've got the Beastmaster that will have a successful time in lane. Wyvern's there to bail you out if you get in trouble. I worry that Wings are going to be very boom and bust. They're not going to be stable. They're either going to rock this or they're going to drop this.
Yeah, that's kind of what Timbersaw usually does to lineup. I like the hero though because they needed a lot of burst damage with the Disruptor and Winter Wire early on, not having too much to offer to the lineup. Timbersaw, a very, very bursty hero. It can easily bring down these tanky heroes coming out from VG Gaming with the Lycan, with the Tidehunter. And mid Timbersaw, I mean, if he can chant his Inner Miracle, then maybe we're going to see something fancy that he's just going to destroy everyone, as he does so much magic damage. And Ember Spirit now being picked up by CTY, abusing the fact that Timbersaw doesn't really have any way to cancel someone from moving around, doesn't have any stuns. Of the Sword Slug with the same thing. So Ember Spirit is going to be having a decent time around. Lycan and Ember Spirit both being very versatile, both being very, very mobile, moving around on the map. So it may be a little bit difficult for the Timbersaw to actually catch them and do the damage that he wants to.
Alright, we are heading on in here once again. This is game number 2 of a best of 2 between Vici Gaming and Wings. Gonna be a great series for sure. I'm Annie, that's Mad King, so Twitter handles over there on the right side of your screen. If you want to drop us a follow, we are both rising casters, and big shout out to Beyond the Summit for giving me a shot at the DPL, and well, hopefully you're enjoying the cast. If not, we are both always open to feedback. And yeah, I know my mic is bad, so that's something I gotta work on. Draft wins, Mad Kings. Do you think there's anything we haven't talked about yet in terms of who's gonna hit their power spike when?
Once again, VG Gaming, they will go for these like blink initiation timings with the mech from RTK and the blink from him. And for the side of Wings, it's a pretty dodgy like time window they have, because I guess they're just going to be waiting for the level 6 to be up, with the Beastmaster going in for the Roars, with the Winter's Curse being up the Static Storm. They don't really need any items to be able to make the lineup work. They just need the levels. Whereas VG Gaming, they need the initial items to be able to be strong enough to take reliable fights. But once they do get that, it is going to be VG Gaming probably setting the pace. So it is going to be Wings trying to delay the timing, trying to be in your face from level 1 and just, shutting down the Bad Rider, hopefully, if that is the main cause, because you don't want the Bad Rider to get an early blink daggers. That's the main tool from VG Gaming.
Alright, so before the blood starts flowing here, we've got very aggressive teams. Let's go ahead and introduce everyone here. We have Shadow playing that safety Slark there over here in the long lane. Ice is going to be supporting up on the Winter Wyvern over here near the rune. We are going to have Timbersaw going mid. It's going to be Innocence here on the Disruptor. And finally, up top, we are going to have Faith Beyond on his Comfort Beastmaster. I'm very excited to see him back on this hero. How's VG looking?
On the side of VG, we have RTK playing the Tidehunter. We have Burning playing the Witch Doctor. We have CTY on the Ember Spirit. We have him playing the Bad Rider once again. Should be seeing some great initiations from him, like in game 1. And we have Sylar sitting in the base right now, just waiting for the wolves to be spawned. And he's playing the Lycan. And with an Iron Talon, it looks like he's actually going to be jungling again, as him is moving to the safe lane. Will be matched up against the Beastmaster. So VG Gaming looking to go for a greedy strategy once again, like we saw in game 1. And that's going to be interesting to see. The Tidehunter obviously going to be offlane, but he will jungle in the start, as that is the nature of the hero. Like, pick up an Iron Talon, get some jungle done, and then you're going to be safe after a couple of levels has been grabbed.
Alright, so we're going to see CTY in this mid position, and on the Ember, that's a very scary proposition. There is going to be Ice hanging out appropriately on the Winter Wyvern, and she does have that Arctic burn coming through. CTY going to be picking up level 2 in a little bit, but until then, he doesn't have that Flame Guard, so not a whole lot of reliability on him now. Oh, up top, ROTK is going to go through. He's a little bit tanky. He picks up the Anchor Smash, but doesn't have the Kraken Shell, which is pretty interesting. He's not going to be offlaning, so he doesn't need that raw survivability, and the Anchor Smash will help him farm, but really not the tide we're used to seeing, and Ice will continue to pressure him, just going in with the right clicks, stealing up his XP, stealing up maybe a couple of gold hits as well.
Yeah, he's having a good time right now. He's actually leeching both Sylar and RTK at the same time, being close enough to both creep camps. So he's having a very good time right now. Almost getting level 2 from just sitting there in that little juke spot. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, like you said, we had the Timbersaw up against the Ember Spirit. It feels like a very, very hard lane for CTY to pull off, because Timbersaw, he just crushes melee heroes. So it's going to be interesting to see how CTY will match up. Obviously, he is very weak before the level 6. Once he gets level 6, it's going to be hard to kill him, but I mean, how many lasts is he going to actually be able to get up against the Timbersaw is the question.
Ice will end up taking that casket, won't bounce, and there is going to be a Flap up trying to go onto the high ground. Can they get any sort of lockdown here? No. Wyvern will be safe, flapping back on. Oh, he's stuck on the cliff now. Burning does have some free pass to go in and right click him to death. Doesn't have the cask for 8 seconds, and Ice will end up going down. Cannot deny neutrals, eats up the Fairy Fire, looking for the aggro onto neutrals, but I think this is going to go the way of Burning. First blood goes onto the Witch Doctor. Wyvern mistimed that dive down to the low ground, and it turns out that it just wasn't enough time for her to fly out.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. In the mid lane, we have CTY getting gone on. He's very, very low, taking a lot of damage, and is it going to be enough? A nice little shackle coming up from him. Oh, but right click. Oh, healing salve. So
yeah, that's going to cancel the salve. That's really unfortunate. It's Innocence wants to go back in, doesn't have enough mana for the Thunderstrike. Will go through the kinetic field. It will catch out CTY. Can the right click damage do it from the Disruptor? I'm not quite sure. CTY, he is tanky, having the poor man shield up. There's no more region. They pop out the up ward here. They do have high ground vision, and now Innocence going in way deep. They're trying to get something out. They do have the kinetic field. Burning, not going to get trapped up by that. Whirling Death doing some work. Innocence may end up taking down from the Maledict. We'll see, one more tick. Can he live? Should be A-okay. Only level 1. So they end up getting down the Ember. They do end up getting down the Witch Doctor, and that's going to be pretty neat.
The Ember Spirit dies from the neutral creep, but they got 1 kill, so it is still 1 kill.
Yeah.
But yeah. Meanwhile, we have actually also RTK dying to the neutral creep, just, getting a free ticket back to the base, as he was just, farming ancients, farming camps, having some good time, I guess you can call it. He is currently level 2, so offlane wise, we're still having the side of Wings being favored, as the Beastmaster is getting a little bit more out of it. He is against the Beastmaster, he's against the Bad Rider though, so it is a difficult lane to get a lot of farm in.
Yeah, I mean, these lanes are just really weird all around. We're going to have Innocence going in. Nice ward up. We'll get some high ground vision onto the Tidehunter. but I don't think they have any real tools to go in and punish him for being out of position. They don't want to dive tier 1s just yet. Slark going to be going through. He does have the pounce at the ready if he wants to go through. And again, very, very tanky ROTK may end up paying the price for this. There is going to be a leap available from Shadow. He wants to go through and get that pounce. ROTK is still about half health. The pounce is off the mark, and I think that's going to be a disengage. ROTK may end up getting more punished. We'll go through. There's going to be a TP out. Can they break it? They do. Slark is able to secure a kill onto this offlane Tide. There we go. That's going to be Shadow's beginning of a snowball. Let's see if he can keep it rolling.
Yeah, that was a good kill. Getting the Tide on the kill went like the first time he hit the lane is obviously
Sylar,
very good.
he's slow. He's trying to get out. He doesn't have any way of getting through. And there's going to be a Timber chain. One more hit. A right click from the Timber, securing a kill onto the Lycan. Great rotations here by the Timbersaw so far. He's 2-0 and going to be patrolling the mid lane. Going to be doing very well in terms of last hits as well. Outlasting the Ember Spirit by about 8. Bye.
Oh, we have Ice also dropping. We have Ice also dropping down low into run. He tried to deny himself to the crease, but you know, getting Napalm slowed by the Bad Rider leveling up Napalm to level 3. It's hard to run away from that guy. Like you said, the Timber's on the mid lane doing well. He's also going to be able to snow much in the same fashion as the Slug is, as he is actually considered a cure counter to the Slug, so he's going to be able to do a lot of damage to this guy. It makes it a little bit less. So I mean, these two roaming like snowbally heroes on the side of Wings is going to be able to do a lot of problem making on VG Gaming. Lycan has been getting a lot of farm in the meantime though. He will get a decent lad timing, but I'm not sure how much that he's going to be able to do, as we're still waiting for the Battle to get that blink timing up. He is 1,200 gold away from it, and you can see Wings, they're really not looking to make him able to farm freely.
ROTK could be in some trouble. There is going to be a pounce in. They connect with the Dark Pack, but ROTK, 2 points on that Anchor Smash. There's going to be a glimpse back. Another kinetic field. They are really punishing this. Another Dark Pack comes out. Shadow regenerating up. ROTK still healthy and Innocence, actually, in a very squishy situation. But up top, we are going to have Chakrams being thrown out. Sylar, he's running back and forth, trying to dodge this out. The Boar's doing the work, so it's Boars v Wolves, and in this case, Boars end up winning. His Timbersaw does secure the kill onto the Lycan. Lycan's having a tough time. You were talking about how he's getting the farm out of the jungle, but he's 0-2-1. He needs just to sit off and be in the backlands a little bit more, focus on not getting in contact with any of the Radiant heroes.
Yeah, Wings is rotating into the jungle so often, and this is due to the Timbersaw. He's very tanky, he has a lot of burst damage, so it's very hard for VG Gaming to actually do something about it. They can't really punish it too heavily.
Alright, there's going to be Shadow getting kind of low here. Still a cooldown on his ulti, and he has a very low mana pool. So we'll see if he wants to back off. Is up top. We are going to have Ice burning here. Dragon, fire melts water. And now we are going to have a cast going through, bouncing around. There is going to be a Maledict, and Faith Beyond will go down. He's only level 5. Oh god. 15 XP off of getting that Primal Roar. That's gotta hurt.
Yeah, that is very, very painful. He almost got level 6, maybe grading it a little bit, trying to get it, and then turning it around in that little engagement, but ends up paying with his life. The Winter Wagon also dropping down, so a great little win, one fight from VG Gaming, getting a couple of kills, which is something they very much need, as they don't want to let the lineup of Wings snowball too heavily. As we all know, if like a Slug lineup gets too big in the early game, it's going to be too much to handle, even if they have an Ember Spirit lineup who's obviously great in the late game. They just don't have any illusion here, so like...
Oh, Primal Roar going back on through. They get the Whirling Axe, or Wild Axes rather, and that will be another kill onto the Ember. That's really important. Ember now 2-2, but slowing down his progress on his items is huge, and the Timbersaw is just out of control. I think this is going to be one of those Timbers that builds, you know, into the Bloodstone, goes Octarine, picks up whatever he wants, and just becomes unkillable, because at this point, the rotations from Wings are so on point. They're, Tide? Did you ROTK TP's like 3 units forward? Oh, missed button. He meant to go for the Iron Talon.
Nice.
I was like, that's a weird TP spot. And, oh god. So that's going to be a bit expensive, especially for supports. Now there will be a digination onto Ice. We have seen him burn down before. Gets the Searing Chains up. There is going to be a Maledict. He goes in with the Cold Embrace, so buying a lot of time for the rest of his team to push around. Is going to be going through, trying to flap out, but the zip in from the Ember may be enough. One more tick on the Maledict should be enough to get the Dragon down. And, oh, he lives with a sliver of his health, 50 HP on the Wyvern. So Ice given a stern lashing, but not going to go down.
Oh, and a nice glimpse back from the Disruptor onto the Lycan, glimpsing him back and then instantly going for the TP out, so he will survive that. That was the shapeshift committed by the Lycan, not really getting anything from it. He will be able to get one hit onto the jungle camp from it, but you know, there's 100 seconds where they don't have that available, so it is going to make Wings feel a little bit more comfortable right now, as the Timbersaw is going to look to continue with this aggressiveness. They have the Roar available, and they're looking to get the Miller Tower.
Yeah, Timbersaw... He's doing fantastically, and also to note, Slark is matching him up in terms of net worth, going in, playing very aggressively. Now, he has his ult online. He wants to go through and find something of this. He might want to take a support with him, but no, maybe he just goes into ROTK. This zoning presence out from this early game Slark is already kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, just reconnect to the game quickly, so I didn't really see that little fight, but you know, having a lot of lag spikes.
Perfect world, thank you so much.
Yeah, perfect world, man. It's fine now, though, so we all good, we all good.
I think we're all good here. We're just going to have some whack out on the tower. We do have the Ravage online, but what follow-up is there for VG? They are going to rotate everyone back through. Maybe they go for this, but there's going to be a kinetic field. Lock in ROTK in place. He's slow. He's just limping around. He's not able to find anything, and Wings are rapidly taking control of this game now. There's Primal Roar online. They want to combo that up with the Slark initiation, and we'll see if they're going to get any jumps. Timbersaw zoning out the mid lane, and over here we do have Beastmaster sitting on the high ground, the boar going in slow, steady tick, slowing up ROTK so much he can't deal with that right-click damage from the boar.
Yeah, Wings is just looking to push the advantage as much as possible, waiting for the Bad Run to have the blink back up. He will have it now. So the next thing they're waiting for is to just have level 6 on everyone. The Witch Doctor still being level 5. But they are going to be able to take the fights now, and they've been waiting with a Tidehunter Ravage for a long time now. They've been saving it, and this is pretty much what they have been saving it for, having the Bad Riders blink available. They want to win a big team fight now. Hopefully they're going to be able to grab more than just one kill. It looks like Beastmaster is going to be the one they jump first, though.
He's going in. They do get the lasso here onto the Beastmaster, but again, he has the shout. So as soon as that's over, they gotta come up with the Ravage, or they're gonna lose everything here. And they do end up getting him down. They have the lockdown, so Batrider is able to secure a kill on that, and that means no Primal Roar. So maybe VG look for more. Maybe they settle for that one pick off.
And that's a decent pick off. It does show Wings that they have the blink deck available, so it's gonna give them that intel, and they're gonna be able to play accordingly around that. In the meantime, we have Wings, you know, farming up on both lanes. The Slark is gonna be, well, he has his basic items. He's gonna be looking to probably go for something like the, I don't know if he's gonna go for Shadowblade or Blink this game actually. I think Blink would be a little bit better because of just trying to avoid the Bad Rider. Shadowblade seems a little bit fishy. I mean, especially against an initiation lineup.
And also,
Fishy.
You don't really want to go for that Shadowblade because you eventually are going to have Necro 3s and the Lycan, and if you want to initiate near the Lycan, you're going to have to deal with that Sentry Vision, so it's essentially going to nullify his Silver Edge Shadowblade, and so I think Blink is the better build, but that does mean if he walks through fire behind the Batrider that the Blink will be cancelled and he doesn't have that jump.
Yeah, sure, so it is a little bit difficult.
We're ROTK.
Oh, indeed. As RTK will receive all the hate that double ultimate being used, and he's going to drop down very, very quickly. And when he dies, the fight ends because of, you know, Ravage is not going to be used, so I guess.
Those are two pretty big spells for arguably not an important hero, but the thing is now Ravage is completely removed from the fight for about 30 seconds, and they get a tier 1 tower, and that opens up the Roshan here to the Radiant, which is super important because the Dire have a lineup with a Lycan. They want to get in that pit, they want to have control, but Wings rapidly pushing in and wedging themselves in, foot in the door, they're getting their map.
Yeah, that's for sure. And Wings, they need to, like you said, with the Roshan being available for VG Gaming, they need to keep the bottom tier 1 tower and the mid tier 1 tower alive for the side of Wings because they want to have these TP spots to go to, just so they can go in quickly and counter the Roshan in the engagements from VG Gaming. They don't want to let them just snowball with it because a Lycan with an Aegis is very, very scary, as you can just go for pushing the towers. It doesn't really care too much about engagements. If you get spawned on, they have an Aegis. Oh, and Bad Rider.
Yeah, I mean, that was just kind of a double slam here. You had the Timbersaw tossing out the Chakrams. Ice just was there. Again, the Arctic Burn does so much damage. It's only level 1, but has been super, super useful. The utility on that is fantastic, and we haven't actually seen a Winter's Curse, and Wyvern consistently has had mana problems, so it does opt to go for the Hand of Midas, scaling better into the late game, and I'm hoping we see Arcanes next, because she really needs a little bit more sustain. She's not able to go in and drop her full combo yet.
Yeah, I like the Midas pickup actually from the Winter Worm because it is a hero that can value from getting items, as well as the fact that Wings is just being ahead right now, so they want to be able to use that, use the fact that they're ahead to scale a little bit better.
ROTK once again does have the Ravage. He tries to catch, be silenced up. Static Storm completely on point. Shadow now on a killing spree. They are going to bring in CTY. They are going to bring in Sylar here. Shapeshifted up bot. in by the Ember for a little bit. They are going to go through. They drag out Faith Beyond. Can Faith Beyond live through this? He's got the ulti. Can he turn and shout? No, he does get down. They are going to go through really nice Witch Doctor Death Ward, zoning out the Slark rather for now. But Timbersaw, he's still alive. He's still got mana. Does he look to turn this? Can he get a Timber Chain? Oh god, on the back lines there is going to be a zip in. The Ember Spirit does end up taking down the Disruptor. Super easy pick for him. There is going to be a pounce here onto Burning. They do get down the Witch Doctor, so support for a support, but the Beastmaster going down there with his ult off cooldown was not fantastic.
Well, a pretty even trade, I suppose. Overall, they got the Titan and the Witch Doctor for the Beastmaster and the Disruptor. Does favor Wings a little bit there, I feel like, because the Slug getting the Shadow Blade off, instantly getting killed straight after, the Timbersaw still being alive, and he's going to continue to scale closer to this Bloodstone that you were talking about with the Soul Piercer being picked up. And he actually just picks it up straight away now. So 14-minute Bloodstone, that's a very fast timing, considering he also has a Bottle, he has a Quelling Blade, he has Boots. Very far than Timbersaw for sure, 7k net worth right now, being 2,000 gold ahead of the Ember Spirit, who has actually managed to grab a decent amount of farm. It has the Trailboots available for the movement speed and, moving around on the map.
This Timber is such a bully, goes in and takes Lycan's hard-earned farm, and Lycan just has to sit there and back off. Oh, okay, I thought we had a no-head Lycan again, it's just a really big shoulder piece.
not the no-head Lycan, guys. You want to see the head?
Throwback to first series when Lycan just didn't get that head. Wasn't put in the game for some reason.
He wasn't good enough to get ahead that game.
Hey, so funny. We are going to have Ice going in. There is going to be that Remnant out, so Shadow rotates in. There's big rotations for not a whole lot. They aren't able to go in and catch out CTY. They use the scan over here in the jungle to make sure that he's not hanging around the back lines, but has effectively removed himself. He brings in ROTK, who does pick up that Ravage now. He's got it only level 1 as he's only level 8. Now up top, that's going to be the fight. We have a Witch Doctor with a really nice ulti. We'll get down the Timbersaw. 600 gold. Not going the way of the Witch Doctor. He's just going to sit back and count his pennies. What does he go now? 1,000 gold on the Witch. It looks like he wants to go for the Yules as he picks up that Wind Lance.
That was actually huge as the Timbersaw dropping down. He just picked up the Bloodstone, so I guess he went a little bit greedy there. He was there alone, not really having his team to back him up, only the Beastmaster being around, and dying when you just bought your Bloodstone, losing the Bloodstone charges instantly, that's a huge deal. Like, when you have a Bloodstone, you want to be able to at least keep it on the initial charges or higher. If you start dropping down, it's like one of those items where you're like, oh, I have a Bloodstone, but it's becoming useless.
Alright, so Winter Wyvern, she's had some nice utility in terms of this Arctic Burns, the Cold and Bria. Hey, Burning! Yeah, that's dead. There's really nothing you can do about that. That's another pick for the Timbersaw. But I was going to say that we haven't seen a Winter's Curse, and that's really because Vici aren't grouping up. And at what point is that Winter's Curse going to come in huge? Is it high ground? Is that where they have to wait for it?
It's probably going to be when both teams go for a 5-man engagement, and the Lycan most likely is going to be in the fight. They want to use it probably just to control him up and set up for Static Storm, I feel like. Abusing the fact that they don't have a BKB. They may even use the Winter's Curse to punish the Titan, like we've seen in the last few engagements, where they just focus the Titan, they make sure he cannot get a Ravage off, and then they know, okay, there's not going to be a Ravage, they're not going to lose the fight. That's pretty much what Wings is aiming for right now, I feel like. Which is the right call. I think just making sure Titan doesn't get anything done is a good way to win the fights. And now Shadow getting hunted, maybe in trouble as they're going very deep for this kill.
Yeah, he doesn't have his ulti, and they are going to bring in the Timbersaw. Can Shadow live through this? He needs the Wyvern to help him out, but on the backline, CTY forced through. It's going to be a nice glimpse into the Static Storm. No Remnants out for you. There's the Winter's Curse, just to hold him in place. He's going to be taking not so much damage. Now the Lycan comes back through, is shape-shifted up, so he's super speedy. Looks for something here. The Timbersaw still full health, relatively full mana. A very costly fight in terms of the amount of spells thrown out, the amount of blood, the amount of rotations, but no real kills.
Yeah, the Winter's Curse was a little bit interesting there because it blocks all of the damage coming out. I guess he wanted to keep him in the Static Storm, but it was just a little bit off timing. And none of VG Gaming going close enough so they could actually hit him, meaning that he didn't take any damage. It was just pretty much keeping him safe. So a lot of expensive spells from Wings. And they're gonna be forced to be a little bit passive off of that as they have 50 seconds on the cooldowns. Need to wait for that to be able to do something. And VG Gaming, I wonder what they're gonna be looking for in those 50 seconds.
Alright, so RTK takes a really nice sized ancient stack, and that will be his mech. And more and more, we're seeing Tide really focus on those utility items and not go for the blink, which in most games I agree with, but in this game I think ROTK needs that initiation point, otherwise he's going to get completely zoned out.
At some point he needs it, but like we talked about in the last game, he has the Batrider who can initiate for him, which is pretty much what they're aiming for, that he doesn't need it because of that. He does need it at some point though, like you said, but he can wait for just you know, a little bit, some greed. The mech is gonna make them able to survive the static storm. He's gonna block some of that initial damage, which is a huge deal to kill people.
Oh, Sylar, he tries to TP out. It's going to be too much damage. The boots of travel in from the Timber Saw does so much work there. He's just able to lay in and slash people down. And now Timber's sitting on a bunch of gold. Does he go in for a Octarine, a Hex?
I actually don't really know too much about what a Timber Saw should build. I like the Blink Dagger pickup from him just to have more utility and be able to be more in your face than he is right now. I love the Travel Boots pickup that he did, so you can TP into the Beastmaster's Hawk and get these kind of jumps in on the Lycan. That was an amazing little feature there, and a nice use of the Travel Boots is one of those amazing things that you can do with Travel Boots when you have a Beastmaster. And Timbersaw like always going to be able to just jump into the fight with this huge damage output. And he does pick up the Blink Dagger now, so he's going to be pretty much all over the place now.
Alright, yeah, I want this fight to be going in favor of Wings. It seems like they've got Snowball heroes, they've got the initiation targets, and VG, they're still holding on. If we look at overall XP, it's not going to be that huge of a deficit. A couple team fights, and that's turned around. And over here on net worth, about 7,500 for Wings, so it's a decent-sized lead, but certainly not insurmountable. At 20 minutes in the game, it could be a lot worse with the Slark and the Timbersaw.
Yeah, especially when you have an Ember Spirit in the lineup, which is a hero that in this case doesn't really offer much because he can't go into the team fights, he can't really jump the Slark or the Timbersaw, they just do too much damage for him to control. So he has to pretty much just flat out dodge the fights, and that's going to be, well, meaning that it's a 4v5 fight usually in every single engagement, which is favoring VG Gaming that they're not further behind right now, right? I feel like. But the Timbersaw, he is climbing like a monster in the net worth right now.
Yeah, he's doing so well, and we see now every single hero on Wings is higher than their counterpart on VG in terms of the mids, the cores, and the supports, all surpassing each other.
Yeah, just overall doing a little bit better, having a more aggressive lineup as well, so I guess that is kind of, you know, something that they had to be.
Oh, Winter Wyvern wants to get something started here. Again, does have that Winter's Curse we want to hold them in place. There is going to be a Ravage out. Shadow pops into the ultimate form immediately. Flame Break only brings him closer to ROTK, and now with the Ravage down, it looks like Wings might want to counter-initiate this. They are still holding on to that ulti from the Wyvern. Deathward doing a lot of work as HYM drags Faith Beyond back into the fight. Can he get off the shout? He does. It does connect onto Burning, and now Burning sitting in the backlands will be falling victim to Wings' damage. There's going to be an amazing Winter's Curse. ROTK gets slapped down by his own buddies. Shadow going through with the Dark Pact, doing some damage, and, well, they've got the Timbersaw there, still looking to go out, throwing out that chakra, and blinks all the way in, trying to get the kill onto CTY, but CTY is dragged back into the fight. They will get the kill, double kill for Shadow. They end up losing their Wyvern, but so far it's worth, as well, the Tidehunter is sitting very, very low. I think with another Whirling Death they could get it done. There we go. So it's going to be a 4-4-3, and the Ember stays alive, which is arguably the most important hero on the side of VG, but they dropped the Lycan, they dropped the Tide. It was a nice Ravage, but it seemed a bit too early. It was the initiation of the fight, not really anything to combo off of it.
Yeah, it seems like they were trying to force the issue because what happened in the start of the fight was that the Timbersaw tried to TP on the Hawk, and they instantly killed the Thor, sorry. And they just tried to force the issue knowing that the Timbersaw wasn't going to be there for a couple of seconds, and like you said, it didn't feel like the best kind of Ravage. It didn't lead into too much, as the Death Wall didn't do too much damage as well, and that's just going to be, you know, Timbersaw getting in a delayed timing, but still doing a lot of damage.
Innocence, losing his innocence here, just gets completely slapped down, double teamed, and well, Slark misses a pounce here onto the Batrider, but they do have the raw damage, double kill out, as Slark gets the point for that. And now we are going to have the Timbersaw in some trouble, gets gushed up, he's going to get healed up by the Wyvern. Wyvern doesn't have that ult for another 10 seconds. They've got to buy time for the Timber, but Timber, he's okay here. Now maybe he looks to turn the Whirling Death, doing some damage onto ROTK. He's got the blink away, and now the Primal Roar comes back through. Faith Beyond brings it home. Triple kill for the Slark, and they're looking for here onto ROTK. ROTK going to be the lone survivor along with the Ember Spirit. And that's going to be Ember Spirit sticking in base. He wants nothing to do with this. He's sitting there, regenning up, sitting back, watching Tide take on the world. He's got basically little toddlers nipping at his heels, but these toddlers hurt. We're going to be bringing in Burning, tossing out the cask. There's going to be a nice sleight of fist, doing some damage. Now the Death Ward comes out, but super, super tanky Timber, and oh, Shadow just turns this, dunking down the Witch Doctor like he's just a piece of meat. ROTK, again, sitting there, no mana for him. There's going to be a drag here, maybe Wings. They end up losing their Timbersaw. Oh, Static Storm, though, does connect onto the Ember. If they get this pick, it's so worth it. They drop him down. Now, Ember, he's in trouble. He does have buyback if they need that. Glimpse back onto ROTK. Can they get anything of this? He doesn't have mana for the Ravage, but he does have it on cooldown. So if he uses those stick charges, maybe he's able to get it off, but he's going to hold that back. Doesn't want to commit too deeply. In the end, what a bloody, bloody engage. 3 dead for Wings, 4 dead for Vici. A lot of big spells being used. In the end, it's a relatively even gold XP change. The tower did go down, which does end up favoring Wings in the long run.
Yeah, it's a slight favor for Wings. They did lose the 10% in the end, which is obviously like this huge raid boss monster that you finally bring down. Ember Spirit was traded for that, so getting the Ember Spirit killed is a big thing that Wings really needed to do, because he was starting to spike ahead in the net worth, getting a lot done with what he had, and it's gonna be at least a good trade for them, killing the Ember Spirit when they do lose the 10%.
Alright, so we're reaching that mid-game momentum point. It's going to be a real spike for Wings. They've got that Slark who has just completely come online. 11, 0, and 6. Shadow's now beyond godlike. He had the Echo Saber. He did go into the Shadow Blade, not the Blink like we talked about. But now the completed Eye of Scotty is so good. There's going to be a zip in. They want to get RTK. Again, he does have the Ravage. He may have to panic Ravage, but he's just going to sit back and take it. He mechs himself up. There he goes. There's the Ravage connecting onto... Oh! Winter Wyvern gets dunked down, but RTK will end up losing his life. He does have buyback if he needs it. Gonna see the Slark running around. He's gonna be maledicted up, but he gets the pounce onto Sylar. Now the damage is coming in. There's gonna be Witch Doctor trying to dance, but won't be enough. The shout comes through. Sylar is gonna fall, and that's gonna be... Oh, yeah, Lycan goes down to the Whirling Death, and this may be it. Lycan doesn't have buyback. They're gonna get the Batrider as well. He goes for the Force Death out, but the chase in, the glimpse back. I think they got this Batrider kill as well. He's just gonna sit there. He has to go down. Another minute without a bat. This could be GG, as there's a lot of high ground push available from Wings.
Yeah, that was a good fight. Once again, focusing the Titan down, forcing him to do this kind of panic Ravage you talked about, that is always a bad idea, because you need this Ravage to be huge in every single team fight to get something done properly. And yeah, and now CTY getting engaged on the Static Storm.
He wants to live, but he's not going to be so lucky. I think that's the tap out. He does have buyback again. He doesn't want to spend it, because it's going to delay his items so much further. He only has 1 Battle Fury in the boots. And well, this is going to be a tier 3 picked up for Wings, although they are going to bring Burning back into the fight. Has that Paralyzing Cask and the Death Ward. It seems like Wings, they've got so much momentum in these fights. They're able to go and just rip apart the enemy team, but their push is less than ideal. They've got Beastmaster Necro books, and that's really their only siege tool.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of siege, but as long as they can keep taking these fights, it's gonna just make this Slark snowball so heavily. He's getting to the point where he is most likely gonna look to go for the BKB. It has been delayed a lot, being a little bit greedy with it, but the Maledict is becoming a problem, so he needs to dodge some of the magic damage coming off from Vici. But even then, I mean, look at this guy. He's just rolling around on the map, getting kills all over the place.
What did he hope to accomplish? I mean, a Witch Doctor out on his own when he doesn't know where Wings are, that seems a little bit reckless.
I guess it was a warding mission, just to give him at least some kind of like, it's fine, it was just a warding mission, I don't know. A little bit too greedy there, and obviously being a little bit too far will get picked off and punished for that. A little bit unfortunate. It is just a Witch Doctor kill, but it is going to open up for the possibility to get the Roshan kill, and fighting with 1 player down is not a good start for Vici Gaming. They're already so far behind. They're sitting at a 14,000 net worth deficit from Wings, and oh, they actually got to go for it. 4-man smoke.
They're going with the wolves. They see what's happening here. They immediately pick off the wolves because they do have the sentry vision of the Necros. And on the backlands, we've got Slark just jumping in, and there is going to be the Timber Saw as well. The shout connects. It's going to be 2 down. No buyback for the Lycan. No buyback for the Bat. Bat died with the lasso off cooldown. Wasn't able to use that initiation tool, and that's a really, really big loss for Vici.
Yeah, that's such a huge thing, and because of this ward in the mid lane that they had to spot out that smoke engagement, so they knew exactly that they were coming, and they could just play around that, go for the counter initiation, and it worked out perfectly. They killed the Lycan, they killed the Batrider, didn't lose anything, still got the Aegis, and now they're looking so strong.
Yeah, I mean, looking at these graphs here, it was a relatively even early game. In the mid game, it started to spiral up, but now it's just out of control in favor of Wings. And oh, the Ravage is popped by RTK before he dies, but everyone can deal with that. There is going to be the Death Ward dancing around, but he's going to get silenced up by a really nice Static Storm there from the Disruptor. No kinetic field to lock him in, but it is enough to keep everyone alive on the side of Wings right now. They're looking for the slow siege. They've got Slark whacking on the towers. Everyone else going in for the hero. CTY fighting with his last breath. He's slow. He's mean. He's going in for the kill. And there is going to be a lasso coming back here onto the Timber Saw, but the Timber Chain just pulls him right back away. Meanwhile, there will be a pounce onto the Witch Doctor. That's a dieback onto him, and alright, I don't know
Damage,
with
man,
what
damage.
mechanism. Oh god, there is going to be Sylar just ripping apart his own Batrider, and the GG comes out as CTY will end up falling it. Ultra kill for this Slark. Good golly, he just got online, and Slark is one of the strongest snowball heroes in the game, and good lord, he was rolling. It's going to be Wings taking out Game 2 of this series. That means we have a 1-1 series. I really, really love the way Wings played here, and if they continue to play like this, it's so understandable why they're one of the top teams in China.
Yeah, they're really manned up in this fight, in this engagement as well. Not going for any of these like cheeky kind of greed strategies. They're gonna go for the Timbersaws, like both heroes that snowball very, very hard if they get ahead, and the damage output of that team was just insane in the end. Vici Gaming not really being able to do anything. Tidehunter, like what was 2 or 3 times in a row, he was forced to use a defensive ravage, which is always a start of a bad fight. Him this time around on the Bad Rider, not being able to get that many blink engagements with the Bad Rider with the lassos, and it just felt like the initiation that Vici Gaming had, they never got allowed to use it in a proper way.
Alright, so that's going to conclude this series. Again, Vici and Wings go for a 1-1 split, scoring up points there for the playoffs, seating themselves nicely in the bracket. We're going to hop into our next series here. It's